to the sky. Never let adventures pass you by. Be free and follow your crazy dreams. We're living our vision in the RV. Come ride with us and you'll be free.
Forecast track, it is expected to slowly strengthen and could likely become a tropical storm this weekend before moving inland. There's a look at tropical storm.
Today, we're leaving Robin Hill Campground in Hartsville, Pennsylvania. Our original plans were to make our way east, but with the storm coming, it was going to ruin our filming and exploring plans for the entire weekend, so we had to quickly make some changes. Travel full-time or just life in general, sometimes plans change. You have to make changes. That happens for us a lot. If you do not have 1,000 Trails membership yet and you're curious on what you do when you cancel reservations or making any changes to it, you can call them, you can chat with them, or you can do it yourself online here. And the way you do it online is you come up here after you're logged in. You log in over there and you go down to My Reservations. So you click here and it'll bring up a page like this. It'll have your reservations. It'll say My Trips. On each reservation will have an edit and a cancel. So it has your name of the reservation and your dates. You come over here, click cancel. It'll cancel this entire reservation. If you hit this edit right here, then you can come over here and you can edit your check-in date or your check-out date if you need to change the dates a little bit. And that's how you do it. A lot of people's been asking about this bedding, and we have a video that's out there that talks about it and tells what we used. It was in our very first Grech Strada-Ion that we got. The bed is very comfortable in this Disco bed by Duvelet. Makes it even more comfortable. It's even got a memory foam padding here. We don't feel any of the creases here, and it's kind of like a sleeping bag, except it's an extra long cover so that you can kind of cuddle up in it and not feel like you're a burrito like a sleeping bag makes you feel like. So when we make these, we simply put them underneath these cushions. But one thing when we found when we're driving is this side over here, not Michelle's side, but my side over here, when we're moving around, driving, sometimes they'll slide off. So we just put, on my side, we put my two pillows here, bring the table over, and then crank this lock down, tighten it up, and that holds that bedding in place while we're driving. And then on Michelle's side here, her bedding doesn't go anywhere because this bar from the table keeps it on, and hers never moves. Even the top part, or up here, it doesn't move at all. But that keeps our bedding on. We like this setup because it allows for kind of like a twin bed setup, but yet we're not separated up here. We can lay a little bit of an angle still if we want to hug. We can put these two ottomans in and make a big, almost like a king size bed. But we like it like this. That way we can get in and out of bed a lot easier. And we just spin this table around wherever we need it. When we sleep, we put the table in the middle. Usually pull it all the way down like this. But again, when we're traveling, we just keep it like that. decided to empty the tanks, the gray and the black, since we're going to be dry camping for a while. They weren't very full, but we figured we're here at a campground, we might as well. And then went ahead and topped off the freshwater tank. Go off the blocks. And we're ready to go. Holy cow, I got in here just in time, didn't I?
You did.
Starting to pour down now. Okay, I'm just gonna put in our maps directly where we're going, since we're going to Premier Products in Elkhart, Indiana. Probably not gonna make it all the way today since we're leaving a little late. It's 11 a.m. We could if we wanted to. Maybe we'll see something along the way, and we should be driving out of this range, shouldn't we?
Once we get out of Pennsylvania, I think pretty much the whole state of Pennsylvania was going to be affected by this rain today.
It says 8.5 hours. That's if we don't stop. So 15 hours?
And then I was looking on open roads, so there's 3 Loves options.
Starting route to Premier Products.
Oh, to get fuel?
Proceed
Yeah,
to Timberline
right on
Drive.
78.
Then turn left.
Fuel in this area is $4.79, and we got a little less than a half tank. We got enough to make it to save some money. I like to run the fuel down as far as I can in a safe way without getting you stranded, so that when you save 10 cents, 20 cents, 50 cents, whatever it is, it equates to a little bit more savings. All right, so it looks like we're going to go to a Love's. Love's is the only option, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh, you ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
You ready to go?
Let go, rain. It's not your song to sing no more. Goodbye, blame. Weights can't lift you up, but you can find a way to drop them. Can you feel the wind? Say you do, it's how it all begins. Then comes reason, then purpose. Well, you will find your way. In the meantime, may the sun bless you with its rays. It's how we learn. It has to hurt, it has to hurt. Every single turn, don't beg your pardon. You're not someone's victim. It has to hurt, it has to hurt.
The price here, of course, fuel's always higher on the interstate. The sign said, I think cash was $5.18. Otherwise it's $5.23. And then TSD discount was $4.63.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a pretty good discount. So we've been trying to eat a little more in here.
Are we out of the other brew?
Yours?
For
Yours
me?
is down here.
That's what I was looking for.
While we're here, good time to use the restroom. Turn the water pump on. Nope. Gosh, you remember ding dongs?
What?
We used to have those when we were younger.
Yeah.
You eat it and still stay skin. I'm not sure why that just came to mind. One of the negatives about having a smaller RV like this, of course, is having a smaller trash can. But you don't have this great big bag. You come to a gas station, a fuel station, a lot of times we look back, it's full, and we'll just throw it away in one of the trash cans because it fits so easily.
Mm-hmm.
We use just the 4-gallon bags because the trash can that we have when we're traveling, sometimes we put it down in between the walkway down by the door because it fits right in there. This particular can that we have anyway does, and then it doesn't fall over or anything when we're driving. And the small packs of like Pure Life water, I think, what is it, a 12-pack, the small ones, they will fit right down in that doorway too. So if you get the smaller pack, you can set one right down in there and it won't slide around either. We've had water in the back. Sometimes we put it up here. Sometimes we get the big packs and sit there. It all depends. We go back and forth depending on what's available too, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
At the stop sign, turn right onto Mountain Road.
Here, we thought we would answer some questions that we get on our comments a lot or emails. So what's the first one?
Why don't you use a surge protector in the van?
If you've watched our videos before, we always use a surge protector. We did in the Class A and we did with the Airstream. We always get the total protection. Even though the Class A had one built in, it wasn't as good of one as a total protection. Well, this Strada-Ion has a surge protector built in that protects more than just the surge. But that's why, because we don't need to use an external one at the pedestal because it has one already built in that is very good. Getting ready to get on the turnpike here. What's the second question?
Have you ever tried Corps of Engineer campgrounds?
Do you want to answer that?
We have, just not very often. We used one when we were in Iowa a few years back.
Basically because when we're looking, as we're traveling, we're trying to find places to stay along the way that are convenient. And most places that we go, the Corps engineers are not that convenient, especially if we're along an interstate and we're trying to stop somewhere along the interstate like a
Cracker Barrel or Walmart.
Yeah. Other times we like to use our Thousand Trails membership whenever we can, or we try to find a campground that is along our path.
Mm-hmm.
If we were going to stay somewhere for a longer period of time and there was no Thousand Trails available for us to utilize, then we would search out further and look for something else like a Corps of Engineers, because they are usually very nice places.
Mm-hmm.
They do have a dump station, but they usually don't have a dump right at the site. But they're usually very nice and reasonably priced too. Circling back to the surge protector, and this is for people that are not familiar with the differences. You need to be protected for more than just the surge. There's other things that can damage your components in your RV, like low voltage or an open ground, reverse polarity. And your good surge protectors, if your voltage goes over, I think it's like 132 volts for like 7 seconds, it'll shut the power off completely to your RV. In our case, or in some people's case, it would switch over to the batteries. Or if you have a generator that has an auto gen start, it would switch over to your generator. If it gets down low voltage, below, I think it's 102 volts for more than 7 seconds, it'll shut the power off, because low voltage will burn up a lot of electronic components, especially refrigerators. And some of your lower end surge protectors will only protect from a surge, and the other things, it won't shut the power off at all. You'll still continue to have power even on a low voltage, and that's when you can get damage to some of your components. So just keep that in mind, and it's always a good idea to have a very good surge protector. Try to get the top of the line if you can. That's all. Sometimes life feels much like the saying, when it rains, it pours, and more changes need to be made. After learning of a friend's passing, we decided after our stop at Premier Products in Elkhart, Indiana, that we would continue west to Iowa for his celebration of life.
Don't mind the falls, break down when it burns, please. Don't be concerned, 'cause it's how we learn. It has to hurt, it has to hurt. Every single turn, don't beg your pardon. You're not someone's victim. It has to hurt, just has to hurt. It's how we learn. Don't be concerned.
getting bored. So we're going to do some more questions. Answer some more questions.
So pertaining to the van, how does the 4-cylinder compare to the 6-cylinder?
It's a lot better. The miles per gallon. So we've driven 4.5 hours, last 263 miles. We're getting 20.1, and that's going up and down through the mountains. So
Yeah.
very hilly through Pennsylvania if you ever came this way. We're on 76 West. And a lot more power, a lot more torque. Love having the 9-speed transmission. I mean, it's just better overall, don't you think?
Yeah, it has like a little more zippy, like you said,
yeah.
torque, power.
Yep, and from the takeoff, it's a lot better. It doesn't have that dead spot from the takeoff like the 6-cylinder had.
People have asked us a lot, what do we use for internet? Well, we have several options. On our phones, we have Visible, which is the same as using Verizon. So we use a hotspot for that. My work phone is a Verizon plan. Another option is an AT&T.
It's a hotspot. We use the Netgear Nighthawk with the AT&T hotspot, as the AT&T hotspot.
Another option is a T-Mobile plan. It doesn't work in a lot of places, but
Yeah, we use it the least.
yeah. And then, of course, if we're really out in the boonies, we do have the Starlink satellite system. It's the mobile plan. Is that right?
Yeah, it started out, it was called Starlink for RVs. And the good thing about that is you don't have to pay month to month. If you're not using it, you just put it on pause, put your service on pause, and you don't pay a monthly fee. So there's no reason for us to be paying that every month as long as our AT&T or Verizon plans or one of the plans work.
Right.
And it's fast enough. Then usually out of the 3 that we have,
Something works.
something 99% of the time works and gets us with plenty of speed, even to stream in the evening if we decide we want to watch something.
Right. About the only times we've ever had to use the Starlink right now, or lately, was when we were in Yellowstone. We used it then.
Yellowstone?
In Glacier National Park.
Right.
And then, we did use it as well, I think, in the state of Washington at least once when we were in one of the campgrounds there, I believe.
Okay.
But then most recently in Canada, when we left Minnesota and started to go up around to the east of Canada in kind of the remote areas, we had to use it then. But then once we got to the cities, of course, then our Verizon plan worked fine. And speaking of the Starlink, also people have asked, where do we store it when we're not using it in this van?
When we got our second Strada-Ion, we were in Riverside, and we kind of showed in that video where we put everything. But the Starlink goes in that very back storage. There's plenty of space back there.
Mm-hmm.
And this 24-foot model, it really increases that storage in the back up above. So, but that's where we put it.
Yeah.
All right, enough questions for now?
I think so.
Okay, let's keep driving. We got to find something to eat soon.
We do.
Are we going to eat here? No, we got to find a restaurant. It's a weekend.
We only eat lunches in here and have our coffee. We don't actually, we do cook some.
But the weekends?
But not on the weekend.
Not going to happen. Alright, we just stopped here at one of their service areas, basically a rest stop, and got fuel. The fuel here, we didn't have to use the TSD because they don't accept it here, but it's only $4.43. $4.43, that's right. My memory, where's it going? We looked ahead here along the route, and right at the edge of, I believe it was Akron, yeah, there is a Cracker Barrel. So we're just going to drive there, have dinner there. It's only 36 minutes from here, and that'll make our drive tomorrow 3.5 hours. Went ahead, I don't know if we've ever had a Cracker Barrel that did not allow overnight.
I know. We
But-
still call though.
yeah.
Which you did.
We just want to make sure.
Yeah. And then we get to have breakfast there too.
She got all excited. I
know.
wondered, why is she so excited about a Cracker Barrel breakfast? She loves her breakfast. Just got her barrel on.
It's full.
Cracker Barrel, that's what we call it. When we eat there, we get her barrel on. Actually, I think you came up with that. That's Michelle's line. I can't steal it from. Can I borrow it?
Yes, you can borrow it.
And we got the blue mood lighting going. Why do we have that on?
Chicka bow bow.
Okay, it's time to go. We're getting ready to head to Elkhart today. I haven't looked yet, but I believe it was just about 3.5 hours further. Then we're going to do that factory tour tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow is Monday. So Michelle and I are going to be working tomorrow, and then about noon, just a little after noon, we're going to make a quick drive over, and I'm going to run inside and do a quick tour. Just arrived here at Premier Products. Now remember, Premier Products is the company that sells the AC units for the Grech RV now. We're going to meet with Carl today. He is the Vice President of Premier Products, and he's going to give us a tour of the factory here. Hey Carl, how you doing?
Brian, good.
Good.
Good to see you. Alright, so this is our seating shop here. This is the sewing area. So this is where all the seats get sewn together, all the covers for all the seats. We have about 40 sew stations here. So this machine is specifically for the front seat recovers. So there's airbags in the van seats and the front seats. And this machine here documents each stitch, make sure it's sewn at the right tightness, make sure the airbag goes back into the seat the proper way, and documents all that so that we make sure we're giving our customers the safest possible recover for the front seat. We're here in the computer-controlled section of our sewing operation. So these machines are CNC-based sewing machines that allow us to create all kinds of different designs. Basically, if you can draw it, it can be sewn to really give the chairs a unique look. Then also in the computer-controlled area, embroidery. So a lot of customers like to have custom embroidery done on the headrest, and that's all done here. This is where the process of making the seat begins. This is our cutting department. So all the vinyl and foam and all the little pieces that make up the seat are cut here. These are patterns of all the many different chairs that we offer. And we do everything from CNC cutting, so computer-guided cutting of the vinyl, to cutting by hand. And then when it's done, you end up with all these little parts that ultimately get sewn together to make up the seat. This is one of our CNC cutters. It digitally takes what we draw and then cuts it for us on the vacuum table here. This is one of our QC areas inside the seating department where we make sure that our product is living up to the quality level that our customers demand and expect. They check things like stitch spacing, making sure the right colors are, looking for imperfections in the vinyl, and it's all done prior to the seat being assembled. That way we can catch those ahead of time and make sure the customer gets the highest quality product possible. So once all the vinyl has been cut and sewn together and the covers are made, it comes over to our upholstery department here. And right now in upholstery, we're actually building some beautiful Grech lay flat sofas. So you can see the foam pack here for the sofa. It actually has 3 different foam densities in it, which is one of the things that help make that sofa in particular extremely comfortable to sleep on. So over here, they'll take the covers that were previously sewn and they'll upholster them to the foam pack that you're seeing and bolt it onto the lay flat frame to give a nice, even, flat surface for sleeping.
Holy cow, look at all these AC units. That's all the AC units all the way down, huh?
Oh, yep. Premier Products is the North American distributor of the EcoCool AC, which is the newest AC that Grech started using. It's the quietest, most power efficient 15K air conditioner on the market.
It's been awesome. It only draws like 9 amps compared to the previous model.
Correct, yeah. So you'll see a lot of extended run times on battery for when you're not plugged in or don't have the engine running. And the other, just the real big thing, especially in a Class B van that we've gotten good feedback on, is the noise. So in a Class B van, you're really close to the AC. And the EcoCool by Premier runs really, really quiet. So another product we supply the RV and the bus industry with is window glass. So the glass that goes on the outside of the van or the bus. The product is produced in one of our factories off-site, and then we warehouse and distribute it from here. So all of the side glass, for example, this is for the side of a Sprinter van here. All the side glass that goes into the van. Premier, we actually supply a lot of specialty automotive markets other than RVs, so we don't just strictly supply RVs. This portion of our plant produces air conditioning systems for ambulances, buses, limousines, all types of different specialty vehicles other than RV that operate a little different than the RV system does. But this, for example, is a system for a large Freightliner bus, so a bus that carries 45 passengers. Another air conditioning system for the RV market that we do is our 12 volt and 48 volt DC powered air conditioners. More designed to run directly off the battery for boondocking situations and things like that. But this is just our charging and testing area where we test and do a 5-minute run test on every AC before it goes in a box. More important than just the seat looking beautiful and being comfortable to sit on is the safety of it. All of our seating setups that have seat belts are pull tested. Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standards tell us how much weight has to be pulled on the chair, and this here is a test van, so we're test mounting different seating fixtures into it. It'll go off to a test lab and they'll pull on it and make sure that it's deemed safe for passengers.
Well, that's it for the tour of Premier Products. And one other thing we didn't cover is they do have an install building also. So if you have a product that you want to have done, you want to have seats you want to have made and installed, they will do the installs as well. Honey, I'm home. It's the end of the day and we're gonna leave Elkhart now. And so we're gonna head back to Iowa and then we'll be heading to our next destination from there. So that's where we're gonna head to tonight. What is it? What time is it? It's after 5:30, isn't it?
5:44.
5:44. And it gets dark early this time of year, so we'll be driving in the dark, obviously. So we're gonna
go halfway.
It's about a 6-hour drive-ish to all the way to the Des Moines area, Altoona, and then we'll drive the other half tomorrow night after we're done for the day. But that's the plan. Always makes me think of that song. Don't need to be coy, Roy. Just listen to her.
Yeah.
Call it a day and celebrate. Let's celebrate. Call it a day. Let's celebrate. Call it a day and celebrate. Let's celebrate. Call it a day.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, click that little bell, and hit that thumbs up.
Call it a day.
See you next week.